Thank you. Schools in Calgary-Currie are frequently welcoming students throughout the school year. Oftentimes, these are students arriving with their families from around the world, many from war-torn areas such as Ukraine, Syria, or South Sudan. Teachers, administration, and support staff are giving a heroic effort to accommodate these children mid-year, but it's taking a toll. With the lowest per-student funding in Canada, how is the minister properly resourcing schools who see growth in enrollment between September and June?
Good question. The Honourable Minister of Education.
Well, Mr. Speaker, last year, as an example, we took a closer look at the number of student enrollment because, of course, our school boards make a projection and then we see the actuals, but of course it's not static. These numbers continue to increase and change at all points throughout the year. But we saw that there was quite a spike in enrollments over projections, so we stepped up last year with mid-year funding to provide an additional investment of $30 million to the Supplemental Enrollment Growth Grant. Again, that was in year to help address some of that increased pressure.
The Honourable Member for Calgary-Currie.
Given that a principal at a local junior high in Calgary-Currie reports welcoming 10 to 15 new students per month, while a significant number of newcomer families are finding their first homes in the inner city, therefore accessing Sacred Heart Schools, Sinalta, Connaught, and Mount Royal, and given that newcomer families are typically navigating a brand new and complex system for the first time that requires additional administrative resourcing, will the minister unlock additional funds further mid-year so that the children attending school for the first time in Canada have the supports they need to succeed?
The Honourable Minister of Education.
Mr. Speaker, we're working towards that. In Budget 24, which the Assembly has recently passed, we're providing $1.2 billion in new funding to our school divisions over the next 3 years. Our school divisions are able to use those dollars to support learning programs and services to meet the growing need. Mr. Speaker, I'm encouraged by the fact that people from across Canada and frankly from around the world are choosing Alberta and are flocking to our amazing province as a sign that we're on the right path.
The Honourable Member for Calgary-Currie.
Given that we can agree that there is in fact a growing demand and that we must rise to that demand, and given that families often arrive in Canada as protected persons or refugees, many having been witness to violence and war resulting in prolonged school closures and disruption to regular schooling, and given that there are protracted conflicts that result in pre-arrival trauma, post-traumatic stress disorder, physical and psychological health concerns, further compounded by language and cultural barriers, what specifically is the government doing to leverage the education system to help these children with their mental health and physical health issues so that they might not just survive, but thrive?
The Honourable Minister of Education.
There are a number of things that we're doing, Mr. Speaker, to help support these students that are sometimes indeed refugees or others coming from war-torn regions. Our government stepped up during Russia's act of aggression and war against Ukraine and provided supports for Ukrainian refugees and including Ukrainian students. We have also, as I mentioned earlier, provided in Budget 23 over $120 million to support classroom complexity over the next 3 years. This funding can specifically go to hiring additional educational assistants, hiring psychologists, speech-language pathologists, and others that will help address some of these challenges.